Today, a special Thanksgiving edition of The Dish with chef, cookbook author, philanthropist, and host Andrew Zimmern. With his versatile cooking and made-for-TV persona, Zimmern has earned worldwide recognition as one of the top celebrity chefs in the field. 4 James Beard Awards and an Emmy highlight decades of work in the industry and on camera. But when it comes to Thanksgiving, Zimmern takes time to reflect on both the highs and lows, including an attempt to take his own life. His past struggles, a constant reminder of what the holiday is truly about.
Usually when people come into my house, one of the first things that I want to do is feed them, like right away, like immediately.
I have nothing against that.
So we like entertaining that way. And I find that if you sort of create that emotional transaction right away with your guest, it's a very, very powerful way to communicate without using words.
Which is exactly what Chef Andrew Zimmern did as he welcomed me to his home for an early Thanksgiving. Starting with appetizers at the hearth. An oyster stew kept warm over the fire. It's delicious. Paired with a homemade flatbread with roasted mushrooms, pistachio pesto, mortadella, and ricotta. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. If you had just had the pesto just with the bread, I would have been okay. Spectacular. Zimmern fell in love with food as a kid, developing his palate traveling the world with his father, his instincts cooking with his grandmother. As for his love of Thanksgiving, once you sit at Zimmern's holiday table, you quickly realize it goes deeper than the food. It's about gratitude. This holiday seems meant for you in what I know of your story, of when you got sober and dedicating your life to helping others.
The catalyst, and it goes back to Thanksgiving 1990 and Thanksgiving 1991, I waited online and got Thanksgiving at one time at a shelter and another time at the Salvation Army.
A long road from his early days in New York, cooking under the likes of Thomas Keller. While his career was on the rise, his personal life was in a downward spiral. In January 1992, homeless and addicted, Zimmern hit rock bottom.
I tried to kill myself in a flophouse hotel.
Tried to drink yourself?
Well, I tried to drink myself to death and eat a lot of barbiturates, and it should have worked. And I woke up undead. And I called a friend and asked for help, and he came and got me. And 4 days later, I had a one-way ticket to Hazelden in Minnesota and was able to start this sobriety that is now 32 and a half years long. But I remember that feeling of hopelessness and despair so vividly, and I try never ever to forget that.
And what makes him uniquely qualified for his extensive philanthropic work, focusing on charities that help the unhoused, addicted, and hungry.
What I need people to be aware of is that drunk, homeless person who you're stepping over in the subway, that person you're trying to avoid is someone's son, husband, friend. And when we sprinkle other human beings with dignity and respect, incredible things happen.
Once Zimmern got sober in Minnesota, he began rebuilding his life and his culinary footprint there. It remains home today, where we shared our traditional Thanksgiving meal.
Are you a dark person, a light person?
I'm a light person. I like the white meat.
Fantastic. And who doesn't love
I know.
that crispy skin?
A golden roasted turkey with a chestnut stuffing. Not to second the turkey, but you're right, this gravy.
I literally took a bite of, got a little stuffing flavor in there, and I'm 5 years old, and I'm standing next to my dad, and he's carving one of those 30-pound behemoths that no one should cook.
Right.
You know, when the little plastic thing went boop, it was ready.
Zimmern aware that when it comes to food at Thanksgiving, the best bites evoke a memory or an emotion. In some cases, both.
It's a very, very special day to create a lot of dishes, and I want to ping the memories of other people at the table, so it's not just about me.
Be it with a cranberry sauce or a newer recipe like his whipped sweet potato with goat butter and smoked brown sugar.
This is,
This looks beautiful.
I think it's really quite amazing. And I heat it up and then I let it roast in the oven till it gets that sort of bruleed finish to it.
There's even the combination of new and old, putting his spin on the traditional green bean casserole with layers of beans, mushroom, and crispy onions.
This is all fabulous.
It is good, and you get just enough of that mushroom. It doesn't dominate it. The sauce just coats it.
I love it. Like as not, love it. And you were worried I had had too much sitting by the fire earlier. There's plenty of room. Plenty of room.
Including for dessert. Not one, but 3 pies: pumpkin, pecan, and apple.
This pumpkin is also phenomenal.
As Zimmern shared a few more stories with those final bites, we reflected back to the gratitude that brought him here.
When I hear you talk about being homeless, addiction, I also wonder, do you think you'd be the person that you are today if you hadn't?
Not at all. And I am keenly aware, I keep working on myself and working on myself. The fact of the matter is that I have been inspired by millions of men and women who came before me, some who are not addicts or alcoholics, who have given me the recipe for how to live a life that is joyous or free to the degree that I deserve to be that way. I just love what I do so much. I never want to stop doing it. I hope my last day is actually in the saddle. I hope I'm cooking a meal for someone and they eat it before they call someone and say, he's no longer with us, but man, oh man, was that fish fantastic.
What a great thought about when the end does come. So I have to say thank you to the Little Pie Company who got some pies for us, which you've already finished, because this is his point. The flavors you have, that memory that they evoke, not just that you're hungry, but your sweet potato pie has a memory for you at Thanksgiving. My apple pie has a memory for me.
Gone in like 60 seconds for breakfast.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
but when
so
you're
good.
eating, remember his message of gratitude this holiday time, because he certainly has it for what he's been through and what he continues to do for others.
I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you, Boo.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too. Eat a lot of pie.